Well, today we're opening the second edition of the American Independence Film Festival here in Kyiv, Ukraine. It's a film festival sponsored by the United States Embassy and working with local partners, and it's a showcase for some of the year's best independent films from the United States.
Our second year in existence, and the first year was kind of like a test to see how we could take films and bridge cultures through film. And this year we're trying to do the same thing, just with newer films, better films, films that were all made in 2012 with American directors that have won awards, that will go on to win awards.
The film that we did was called The Atomic States of America, and we actually adapted it from a memoir that was written by this woman, Kelly McMasters, who grew up in a place called Shirley, Long Island, on Long Island, and it was in the shadow, unbeknownst to her at the time, of the Brookhaven National Lab, which was basically a nuclear research facility.
And that means building a new generation of safe, clean nuclear power plants in this country. Because the nation that leads the clean energy economy will be the nation that leads the global economy, and America must be that nation.
I think people will be really interested to see that, as far apart as we live, how many things we have in common. And as Don had mentioned, the industry, the nuclear industry, tends to get defined by big accidents, but what we found in doing our film was that there are little accidents that happen every day that affect the lives of the people that live in reactor community.
March 23rd, it is March 23rd, isn't it? The days are all kind of blending together right now. It's almost 2 weeks after the disaster in Japan. The news continues to get worse over there. We're sitting here in New York, and there are stories coming out every time you turn around about Indian Point. Could it happen here? What are the risks?
Nuclear power. I don't want Indian Point. I live down the street. It's like at a cul-de-sac, and I'm just down the. I don't want that anymore. How can we get him to take that away? The governor.
For 10 years, Riverkeeper has been watching Indian Point from the standpoint of safety.
In fact, even one NRC official said that if we had a chance to relicense that reactor, knowing today, we probably would not license that reactor.
Yeah, that's, as the kids say, a no-brainer.
Before the Japan earthquakes, people were not paying attention to the risk of accident, risk of radiation release. Now they are.
One of the things that we do at this festival, aside from screenings, after each screening there's a Q&A, and we also have workshops. And at the workshops, they're, I believe, open to the public. The audience, the Ukrainian audience, can interact with these filmmakers, with these directors, and they can ask them questions and ask them specifics about filmmaking.
Our workshops are very practical, very details-oriented. They're very diverse. They're about music, they're about independent filmmaking. And as an example, I will personally give a workshop how to make a no-budget film today in Ukraine of international quality for international distribution.
I think you're ready. I trust you.
You should. There are people following him. There are really people following him.
This is intense.
We're going 15 miles an hour.
You come to that launch site, you take my hand, and I'll show you who can't time travel.
What's your story about?
I don't know anymore, actually.
It's my hope that if you're watching this video, something incredible has happened.